So good Thursday morning, everybody. Alright, good Thursday morning, everybody. Today we're going to go over a few things. Firstly, it'll be focused around a few administrative things, starting with the Teams. I'm going to run through installing Teams because there's been a few issues that just makes it a little trickier, and helping George and Oliver with it made me realize we have to talk about it in more detail together to make it just easier. So I just told Georgie before we started that I cannot deploy this app to everybody's computer because it needs to be installed on your user profile, right? So when you get the invite in your email, you have to log in. You just have to click open and it'll download and then it'll be there. It's pretty simple. So just do okay. So if we look at Outlook on Office, I've invited Office to the Teams, the team. So we'll crack this open. Of course, it's not working. What is back here? Okay. The first thing that happens is whenever you open a Microsoft account on our domain is set up kind of differently in the respect that our domain is set up as cwmj.cybelwilhelm.com, right? And generally it's right here. Generally a email will be your username at cwmj.cybelwilhelm.com. That's how it should be set up. So like we shouldn't have the cwmj in our domain name, but that was set up before we ever had something like GoDaddy, which is just at cybelwilhelm.com, right? So when you initially sign in, your email gets output like this. The username, which in this case is actually the username of Office or the conference room account, but you gotta get rid of this, right? You hit connect, and then it asks you to put in the password a few times, like so. So the same thing will happen in Teams. When you click the link and you say open Teams in Windows, that exact same thing will happen. So that's just what I want to kind of show you guys. Once that pops open. So generally Teams is set up kind of like a forum setting. Like you will be able to post files. I mean, we could do emojis. You can post actual files. You can write or post out in more of a formal way, like a subject and a title. You have some formatting options. You know, it's just a little more robust than what you get from Skype for Business. And this Skype for Business has been pushed. It was supposed to be done in the summer, but it'll be still around until mid 2019. But this is what replaces it. So once Skype for Business stops working completely, this is what you're gonna have to use to be able to.
What's this program called?
It's called Teams.
Teams.
Microsoft Teams.
Okay.
Okay, and you know, you have like your general functionality. You have some activity stuff. It tracks your calendar. It's built in, so like, see, we're in this meeting right now. You can even do voice meetings. You can look at files on OneNote. You can have a bot. So if somebody's,
That's cool.
you know, writing inappropriate things, you can be like, delete these keywords, right? I mean, there's things we'll get into using it more. You can chat with anybody. See how you guys are all set up on Skype? I can even text Georgie right now, but I'm more limited because Skype is more limited.
I'm not here.
Oh.
Oh.
I think you're in there somewhere.
Am I the first one?
No.
You said Abraham.
I added you to it. You should.
Okay. Go on.
You should have it.
Okay.
Let's see. Manage team. Maybe I didn't add you. I don't remember if. Oh, you're not in there. Okay. So now I can add you.
Okay.
And it just pops up because he's part of the business. So add, close. Yeah, so if you have to invite somebody to the team, it's as easy as that. So now let's look at what the email looks like.
Okay.
Something start Outlook. Microsoft Teams, right? This is the email that you get. You should have gotten, and it's kind of the scary email. We don't know what to do. It's like, what is this? I invited you to Teams so we can get rid of Skype slowly, and it's just gonna be easier in the future. Like when we get rid of it, we'll be like, okay, it's whatever. Who cares?
Yep.
Right?
Same
So
thing.
we'll crack open my open Teams like so. And you can use whatever program and hit download, right? And you'll see you don't need to put in the admin password to log in. So we'll hit this, we'll hit that, and just give it a second. It's pretty easy. It's just that one hiccup that, you know, the domain is set wrong. So it like if you just type in your password, it won't work properly. You have to kind of retype everything. All right. So we'll crack this open. I know the screencast is probably blank right now. Alright, so you'll be confronted with this screen. And see how it's doing that? It's taking the username and then it's providing the domain that's set in your computer. And if you put in your password, it's never going to work.
So I get this screen every time my computer starts up.
No.
Is that gonna?
No, once you sign in once.
I do know.
Oh, you do?
Because I restarted it yesterday. I got it. And this morning I got it.
Oh, I don't know why you're just doing that. Did you set it to remember? So let me put in the info for office, and that's as easy as that. Just, you sign in normally like the GoDaddy screen. And boom, sign in. And that's it. It's literally all you have to do. Now you're in part of Teams, and now I'm gonna just do a little scenario where I text myself on Teams, and we can see what both sides look like. So, sure. What's the question? So here, see, you're popular. Here's the team you already belong to. Open. Alright? So now you're part of the team. And there's a little, there is a little tutorial thing you can click through. And that's it. You have kind of the same functionalities. You have your statuses. It'll mark you busy in a meeting. For example, if we look at chat and contacts, yeah. So we'll create a new contact. Anyway, so here's Teams. I've also created this Revit or BIM questions. If you have any questions for me, like I will try to take this question and answer it in here too, which will help us, because everybody can look at it, like you should all get a notification and say, oh, Georgie asked this question and the answer was this, right? So I added this to your favorites for everybody. But generally, it's just, you have any questions, like, hey, questions for me, questions for somebody else, or like if you're trying to call to action the group, like, hey, can somebody help me with this project or something, I have a question. We'll just generally use this. So, let me just send myself a message. Hey, man, I heard about Abe. That is a shame. Right? So now, if I look at my Teams, I've opened up it in dark mode. So you could switch that if you want. And it'll be like, you could search GIF and do tragedy. And be like, whatever. It's not appropriate, but still.
What the hell was that?
But yeah, so again, this is just a better app. So eventually, when everybody's on this, we'll get rid of the little Skype indicators. See, I already got Oliver in on it. So, alright. So I'll close this down. And that's really all you have to do with that. So, let's go over some of the questions that I've been collecting over the past few weeks. Still, it's better to send me a question in an email first before you come ask me. Just because I have it for record. I'll slap it in this folder and we can go over it. One of the ones, so this question was how to set your elevation annotation relative to the level that you're on, right? So was that, I sent Georgie this knowledge base article, and it told you that you can make a new type that changes the thing. So let's take a look at that. I also want to get your feedback. I'm using Revit 20. So let's look at this. EL. This is your spine elevation, right? Like so. Boop. This is 20 feet. Right now it's set to actual elevation, which is relative to the origin of the project file. So this desk surface that I'm touching is 20 feet 1 inch off of the origin. But I can tell it to show So if we change this, you can duplicate it and call it relative level. And if you look down here, you can change it to relative. And once it's relative, it's 2 feet 8 inches off of the floor or the level, right? And it's kind of important because sometimes we will go to finished floor, which would be the project elevation. That's generally our 0 elevation. It'll be better if we maintain at least 3 different types. Because sometimes we do surveys, survey point, right? Which would be real world elevations, like sea level. Survey, project, and relative. So, what are you...
Can you show that real quick again, please? Just want to make sure
I just didn't have it in... I didn't have it in this project. Right, this is the office directory I was working on before. But...
you want edit type, okay.
Edit type on a spot elevation family. So
Right.
this is a spot elevation. You can get to that by doing, dropping down the dimensions tab,
Right.
or typing SE.
Nothing.
Is it SE? No, EL. There it is.
Alright.
So here we can see that
And
that's...
also annotations.
Yeah, it's also in the annotation cell. I mean, Revit's generally pretty redundant. But see here, EL?
Yes.
That's what I pushed on the keyboard.
Shortcut.
Yeah, it makes things a little easier.
Of course.
So yeah, that's project, and this is spot elevations. These are set up already in the project
So
template.
now, one of them is measuring for the whole project, and one of them just for the level, right?
From the level that
Yes.
that is related to this plan. Okay. So
And you change it from edit type, right?
yeah, you can edit the type of the elevation itself. All right.
Save us. Or
But
or
they
you
already,
have
they already
already-
exist in the
I have,
template. So
yeah, in the template they all exist. The 3
Shouldn't
different
really have
kinds.
to-
You don't have to edit that. I'm just showing it. I didn't have it, so this is how you get to it if you were to be missing it. All right.
And just 2 things on that. One, just make sure you coordinate with your project manager, because the project manager is gonna have a different
How do you want it, like?
exact
Is
preferred
it-
from what.
Yes. From ground floor, from 0
Yeah,
level, or?
some of us would want everything related to the zero. If we count 0, then from that being 15 or 14, whatever. Or if we use the sea levels, then maybe we want, or there might be the cases from the 2nd floor level, which I doubt. But and probably John would be the person to, maybe say that is the standards that they use on site.
0 level.
Yeah. Or if there's a general note somewhere in the set
Yeah.
that it refers to that as
But
well.
then people on site can also go on to. It has to be consistent, at least consistent. That's
Right.
through the set.
So this next question was about ADA railing extensions. I don't remember how we got to that. Really? I think we talked about it. That's why there's no answer here. What did I just do?
We found solution to solve.
Yeah. Alright. So I mocked up a quick project with a few of these stairs in here. So let me just go over a few things with the stairs. So I think the railing projection for this guy, my binding isn't working. In here, was it?
Is there a missing landing with this here? Yeah.
No.
No?
This is a multi-story stair, like it's the 2018 style stair. So you select. Are you okay? You
Right now.
What happened?
you select the levels and it replicates the stair runs between each level that's selected.
Oh, you're 19 already. How dare you?
No, I know. I want to expose you guys to it.
That's what we're doing today?
How dare you?
I want
Well,
to.
because it's the only one.
I want to expose you guys to it because I think I'm gonna go through installing 19 for everybody.
Yeah, I was gonna.
You
I
should.
never asked you, but
You should.
I thought
I
we
thought,
should.
yeah, because I think that the value added from even just this. I know you guys like to float your properties and stuff. Like almost every single one of you guys does it, which drives me nuts.
Does what?
Floats your properties. Like you put it on your other screen.
Okay. Yeah.
You can kind of go backwards now. Damn. Maybe to do that. You can go backwards now. You can actually float the whole window instead.
Mmm.
So if you have that as one screen, you can grab this whole guy.
Wow.
So if
You-
if you're like me and
You don't
memorize
have to extend the Revit.
no.
Okay.
Yeah. That's probably the biggest thing that's been added to Revit. We should still, because it's recording. There. But again, see here? Big full screen. I remember all the keybinds, so if I need to split this railing, I can. Whatever. So, I like working like this. I used to work like this in Rhino in school, in architecture school. So, I'm so happy
Where
that
did you
it's
go to
here.
school to?
In NJT.
NJT.
Yeah. So, stairs.
I don't know.
I don't remember that other question.
There.
I think it has to do with this top rail, right? Got it. So we did straight, right? Was it wall, floor, or post? Might have been post. Or was it a... Ah, okay. Yeah, now I remember. So it's an option for the top rail. Top rail or handrail, both. But it's only on the bottom level. So if you end up with it kind of mix and match, where the top is going down, just remember you have to make it so that it's pointing up. So if we look here, and then we should have...
That marks the one that needs to be
Post.
extended is the other one. The handrail. No, the one. Oh.
Yeah, but this doesn't have a handrail. Like the handrail is the whole railing in this one. This isn't a guardrail right now.
Can you
Has to
maximize
have,
the?
Has to have both. One is for protection, the other one is for hand.
Guardrail pipe. Alright, so it's in, I think it's in here.
Okay. Now I can see the rail and then the...
Yeah.
So this one you can add or subtract to the rail.
You can do that to all any railing.
Okay. This is for the ADA, like for the handicap.
Is it floor? I don't remember. No, floor is this where it goes to the post. I don't remember how we did it. Did we just do it manually, Georgie?
I used to do it manually. But
Or
I was
extension?
hoping-
Yeah, for the bottom.
You have to click on this railing, not the guardrail, but handrail,
Yeah,
like separately with the top.
I did.
Yeah, click on unlock it, and then go to the properties,
Oh.
and then go to extension bottom.
Style?
Just adjust the length of the
Extension style.
Style?
But
No, 0, length 0 plus
Mhm.
thread depth.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah, but
Okay.
extension length 0. And okay.
Ah, there you go. So that's
We need to confirm that. with
Well,
Oliver.
I think it.
You can confirm it with the New Jersey code.
Every time he reads the code,
It's different.
one time is like that, next time is extended.
No, this actually,
That-
why this question
How
happened?
I read it is like your choice. But as I said, I have gone through this. You talk to Oliver, one day is like this, another day is extended.
It may be the difference in New Jersey and New York code, but this was the question how it occurred actually. All the time we made like a horizontal extension.
Mhm.
But the guys who were checking our projects
Mhm.
with John, they said like it's wrong. And
Okay.
even on South Market Loft when we were
I
designing
agree.
South Market Loft, I checked like that we have, you know, like misconception in diagram. ADA diagram shows this extension type,
Mhm.
but we draw, you know, like different.
Okay, so now we all know how to get there.
It's
We
just-
add the tread deck.
We just have to get
Alright.
this lesson every time we do it.
End of story.
I read it after read it.
So
I was working with John and
Here's-
John told me like, do like this.
Oh, but,
here's
the one
another
is signing is
application.
So,
Our project was sent by Martin, by the way.
for code stuff, you know you have to go to Oliver.
Okay.
Okay, so next, you know how you have this situation where you have kind of a long railing in a tower, and you're trying to get the railing to match up with each level. But if you go to copy and then paste selected levels, and say you want it on 2, and it's hosted to the stair, it'll always be on the ground floor. That's kind of annoying, right? So the way to fix that is you take the host and you host it to this landing specifically. So if I want it on this level, if I click the landing here, this railing will then be hosted to the proper portion of the stair. If I want to do the next one, what do I do? So if I do copy again, paste the lines to 4, it'll still be on the same side. So all you have to do is just pick a new host and select the correct host. Alright? It's a little workaround. That's how you get, you can finally stop ripping out hairs. Because it's like, I hosted to the stair, what do you want from me? But it's like, you're not trying to do the stair. Potentially, I haven't tried the specific landing itself. I think that's not a selectable thing. Or maybe it is. I guess it is. So, you can also pick this specific tread, not the whole stair, but the specific tread as well. And that seems to work as well. So just remember that the elements in Revit are kind of amalgamations of many different components, and it all comes together to become a stair. So every little component, such as the stringer here and the landing and the treads, and I don't think you can select the nosing specifically, but you know, the railings, all those pieces are there and they're all separate and they're tab selectable. So just tab in and select the correct version that you need. I'll just close the screencast. Sure. Okay, questions. So there's one more question that we had. There. Sorry. So the last question was, I have imported CAD. I've imported something in CAD on one view, and I don't know where it is. I can't find it. So there's kind of two ways to go around it. We can hit up Dynamo and do a script. That's kind of a selection of, you go by category and you do import instance, and it gives you a list of every CAD in the project. Angelica found kind of a workaround. It's a little easier. So I have a CAD in here somewhere. But if we look at manage links, manage links, and I click on CAD formats. Uh-oh, it's not here. I guess it is here. Maybe this is an update to Revit 2019, that if you import the CAD, it shows up. Let me test
Shows
it.
it.
Maybe, because that might be an unexpected side effect of me using 16. Link, that's link CAD. So if I import CAD, right, and that's the no-no, like you should never do that. Like, don't ever do that. It's bad. So if I imported CAD, let's check our manage links. This mouse is killing me. CAD formats. Nope. So it doesn't. Alright, so I've imported a CAD. I don't know where it is. The nice thing about the CAD, if you know what file you're looking for, like you know where the link is, at least in the file system, you can do this. You can actually link it. Let me not switch projects. But here. So if we actually link it, this is Angelica's workaround, right? I will do insert link CAD. I will find the CAD that's in question that I don't know where it is. I will place a second instance of it, and then what you do is you right click it and you select all entire project, right? And then you can remember from a few months ago we went
But you
over
only have one
inquiry.
project. One of those.
Sorry?
Because you have inserted the other one.
It worked with importing it.
No, but the example is like you don't have it on that file.
No, I have it on that file. That's where I put it. In 3D though.
But when you select that one, it says only, when you filter it, it says that you have selected only one and it should select two. That's the way when I did. And if you go to the manage link, it's only showing one.
Let me try importing it.
In my case, both times I had linked it.
Okay. If it's linked, then you can always get it. Or you can just unload it. You need to get rid of it.
No, I'm sorry. I just wanted. My problem was that I placed it in a place I needed.
Okay.
And I wanted to know which view. I didn't want to get rid of it because it was located in the right spot. I didn't want to do that work again.
Ah, okay. Insert. But it says 2, so I don't know why.
2? No, it says 1 on the filter. Oh, if you reselect on the entire.
Let me look at 3D. Maybe I didn't place it the first time. That is a bad one. I added the Patterson file that we were working with the other day.
Yeah, that's what it is. And you
Link
should
tab.
include the Patterson.
Patterson. That already exists, that's fine. I want to find what view it's in, so I'm going to do select entire instances and see I have 2 in here, right? So the workaround is you go to inquiry in the manage tab and you do IDs of selection, and now I have the other CAD. It'll always do chronologically. So this is the newest one.
Yep.
So you can grab this guy, copy that, and now select by this ID, hit OK, and then you can kind of, if this was work shared, it'd be even easier because it would tell you what work set's on.
What word set?
No, for
I know.
Yeah.
I'm just being.
for 2D elements.
Because we don't use it.
No, but you don't
Do
use
we?
it.
Do we?
Look,
I try.
Okay.
I try.
Do you?
It's like,
the thing about work sets
Okay.
is it doesn't matter if you have user-defined work sets or not. The way work sets work is that user created.
No, I know what it is.
No, I know, but I want everybody to know what it is.
I think everyone.
So the idea with with 2D elements, if you ever confused, 2D elements can never be on a user-created work set. They're always on the work set that is for the specific view. If you click views here, every view has a work set, and that's the work set where like your detail lines go, and that's where your dimensions go. That's where your elevation tags and your door tags and everything goes. It's never you can never organize annotations or 2D like paper space elements in the model. It's only tangible like model elements can be in user created work sets, right? So even if you're not using work sets, you can use work sets to at least
Right, that's
identify what view your annotation's on, and that counts for CAD that is placed in a sheet, in only this sheet. Current view only. Everybody knows about that, right? If I import, see here, current view only. That makes it kind of like a 2D object that's only in this one plan, right? It doesn't exist in the 3D model. Okay? It's just very important to make that distinction. So if it was in a workshop project like this one, then you'd be able to see what work set's on because you click here. If we look at this, you see this work set. View, it's in the view work set, floor plan, directory, extensions. Alright? So that's pretty much all the questions I have. If you guys have questions for me, or kind of topics that you'd like to go over, like now's the time to call those out. Like anything specifically that we can kind of work on explaining better. Also send an email or post them in the new Teams. Please. I know we went over in the BIM 360 Docs meeting on how to log into Docs, but then there's people who haven't logged into Docs yet. And I can kind of see that in the analytics, and I'm sure by a month or 5 weeks later, we've all forgotten how to log into Docs. So please log into Docs.
Maybe one
Please.
thing that.
And please log into Teams. Okay? So, and if you guys missed the instructions on logging into Teams, they'll be on the internet in a bit. There'll be this recap
have an
of the
email,
beginning
just
of.
click on it,
Yeah, I know.
download it, email and password.
Yeah, email and password.
So,
It's pretty easy. I think Angelica already has it, so does Lisa. So does Lada. But please. And then we can engage in this thing. You can post your questions here, and I'll try my best to orderly answer your question here.
okay.
Alright?
Maybe just one thing that you showed me in the project. She had 2 levels in the same spot.
Okay.
Real levels. So there was called ceiling level and second floor level. So I don't think we have talked about that really of what it would be the best practice of having everything related to the floor levels, or should we create, because I have seen some people like to create ceiling levels. So if the ceiling goes up and down, then they said they would like to just move
Everything attached to it moves with it.
Yeah, exactly. I personally prefer to be from just the ground, from the level of that floor, because that avoids creating ceiling levels.
The other thing that avoids from the ceiling level, for example, if you do the spot elevation like we talked about, these guys, once the thing that you're measuring is a relative and it's attached to the level,
Right.
then it'll be 0, and that'll be very confusing in construction documents.
Yeah, that's why before I said those
So-
those sort of what is it?
I have a question. So now we have 2
Elevation.
levels. Are you asking to get rid of one of them and attach everything else to that level?
Well,
Yeah.
You understand what they asking you for?
huh? No.
No, they're not asking me for anything. They're telling
I'm not
me.
asking. I'm just saying.
They're
that's
telling me
a
that
fact.
we need to define as a group.
As a practice
a
in
convention.
the office to create or not create ceiling levels for the ceilings, and I said we shouldn't.
Yeah.
Everything should be
Yeah.
related to the floor, and I said that ceiling is at 10 feet, or that ceiling goes down to 8, whatever. Instead of having another level
For the same.
at the same level, and like it has happened in Rita, that this level of the ceiling for some reason is the same level of the second floor somewhere else. So it's at exactly the same point.
Right.
And the problem with that is that most of us go and draw a wall and doesn't even pay attention what is the
The top.
relative level
Right.
of that wall. Is it the ground floor? Is the second floor? And you start moving the wall. You draw it, and if you don't see on the second floor, you start increasing the height instead of just move it to the related level.
So that's why you don't want you rather not making a ceiling level.
No,
Okay.
but then it's like
Makes sense.
Yeah, but I think that depends on the project. But if
Yeah,
you're-
exactly.
Like if you're placing a planner above the ceiling, you do need the ceiling
Oh, yeah.
level to
Yes.
place that roof.
yes, that's
And also if the
you don't
ceiling
need
at
you
one
don't need to
point-
create a ceiling level. You need to create a floor plan for the above
That level.
ceiling because you need a floor plan for the above ceiling.
Right. And also I think you can decrease the conflict
That's-
by moving the 3D points at the section
Oh yeah.
where you have ceiling here and the second floor at the same level. So you like tag it down so it's like at a different point and levels.
Yeah, I think for Rita the main problem was that she just didn't need the level, the ceiling.
Oh,
She wanted just to keep the second ground floor.
That's fine too.
And I was telling her that one main, I think it is, correct me if I'm wrong, up to Revit 18, if you raise that level, it wouldn't tell you if you lose elements,
Right.
like 3D model. 2D, I pretty much don't care much, but I mean it's also
Yeah,
smart. And in 19, if you try to erase a level, it will tell you, oh, not only you're losing these views, you're also gonna lose these elements, and you can choose or check. Well, I'll just redo it, and I just better just get rid of it.
Yeah,
That's,
and we also went over, Vlad and I went over how to determine the elements base level. So if the level in question. So let me show you one thing here before we get into the level. 19 has this neat feature which allows you to view I don't remember where the thing is. Where is it?
So in the case Rita's talking about is we cannot remove the scene floor because of what I remember is that the 2 levels are on the same level. Like they're both on the same height. But we cannot get rid of one of them and attach all the elements to the other one.
The problem with 18 is that let's say you erase ceiling,
Okay.
we don't know which elements are related, are attached, link to
Okay.
that level. So
Right.
you might lose walls, ceilings,
It-
and we don't know which one.
So if I get rid of the level, it will take out a wall with it.
Yeah, it could,
Maybe.
and it won't tell you.
Huh.
I just saw a light flash.
No, I
In
saw
your
like,
head.
uh-oh.
I did
Did you
doing
do that
this
before?
behind
Did you ever go before? Just let it go from now.
Like, oops.
What did you
So
do?
that day that he said, you went and said, where are they going?
Where are the walls?
Like, I didn't do anything.
We always
Now
have
you
this
know who
issue,
did
you
it.
know? Every time I'm asking him, he said, no, I didn't do it.
That literally, no, really, she asked me things are gone and
I don't do
Every time.
what?
The good thing is it's like you have, in my case, only one child. So you know it was him or her.
Yeah, you and George, and George is not working in this area, so you
Me neither. It wasn't me either. Sometimes it's actually like.
And then you have two child. You lost.
Yeah.
No matter what.
So okay. Sometimes
Oh,
the sheets that I'm working
so
on,
dumb.
I find things different. Like I'm the only one working on them. I'll be like, what's happening?
Always.
So here's a new feature in Revit 19
Yay.
is you have the ability in a 3D view to show levels.
Ah, yeah, that was
Right.
good.
Yes.
Now where they are, I don't know.
I can't find anyone to blame now. And it's not me either.
Oh.
There's a ghost.
It's a ghost.
The mice at night.
So see, and you turn levels on by the normal method, and your 3D views.
In VV. Somewhere in VV.
Yeah, in visibility graphics. So if we do that, select the skills.
The level of 3D out.
Hey, we got 3D levels in our things. And this is how you can also define their extents.
Nice.
So like,
Oh, that's 3D extent.
there you go, see how the markers
Yeah.
Wow.
are determined by. So it's kind of a neat feature. I think moving forward, it's one of those features that's like we want that, especially when we do.
Instead of having it to do that.
It makes it easier to see
Yeah,
at least.
So you have to adjust the scale so you can see the
No,
level.
I just changed the scale because the tags were really small.
So can you
'Cause I-
show,
No,
can you
they're
show me how
really
you
big.
were doing it?
That's only 19.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a new feature in 19.
It's just showing us what's coming in the future.
Yeah, and I'll try and work on.
So you see when you change the scale, it still shows up.
because it's paper space.
Right.
So it changes my relationship to scale. This is a very high resolution picture. Alright. While we're at it, you can switch between perspective and 3D views. So like Revit now has uncropped perspective views, which is kind of nice. Because sometimes I need to make it so big, like the whole sheet. So now you don't have to. So for a trick to determine what level is based on, elements are based on a level that you want to delete. Let's look at how to do that. So all you have to do is you create a new schedule and you make it a multi-category schedule. So the only caveat here is that this doesn't include system families. So for system families such as walls, I think walls is the biggest one. I think floors are okay. All you have to do is if you do like family and type, and let's see, type mark's not usually useful information, but you do level, family and type and level, you can then create yourself a schedule. And what a multi-category schedule is, any families that are on any level, it'll show all objects when it's not filtered. So then all you have to do, if you have multiple levels in question, you just go to filter level equals. So say I want to get rid of level 3, right? If I filter all the objects on level 3, then this would show me all the objects on level 3. I don't have any right now in this project. But that's how you do it. And anything that's based on this
Sorry,
level,
what is this for? To find
when you're
out?
deleting a level.
Find objects related to some certain level.
But I thought that, that's what I understood.
It won't just straight up delete all objects around
But
the
before
level.
it did.
So if a wall is based on that,
Yeah.
it'll delete it. Or if an object
Yeah.
is based on that
But
level.
I was under my understanding that now in 19, if you try to raise the level, it not only tells you the views, which is what it does in 18, but also will tell you the elements.
Okay.
So you don't need to do the schedule technically, unless you want to know ahead.
Or
what
you're
it's
in a
gonna
16
be.
project. Or an 18.
Ah, okay.
So
You're right.
we don't have to in the future, but we still have to in the past.
Yes.
Same reaction. Look at you.
So
Making faces.
that's so again, you might have to do walls separate because or maybe rooms and spaces and stuff separate because multi-category can't kind of get everything. Or maybe not rooms. Let's see, room level. So you could probably tag rooms too. But yeah, elements have room information. That's good to know. But yeah, multi-category schedule just selects everything. So if we wanted to say set this as our level and place some tables like so. Then if we look at our multi-category schedule, you'll see the tables that should have been placed. Is it level 3 or did I pick a different level? Let's just get one. There are the desks. They're all on level 1. Weird.
So you same thing. You used to
Oh, that's cool. Look, you can now delete objects. Yay!
From the schedule.
From
Oh, you
schedule.
can.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, you could always delete it with this button, but now there's a contextual button here.
So they're not only deleted from the schedule, they're deleted from the project.
Yeah, that should. See, it's saying, warning, one instance is being deleted. So, if nobody's,
Yeah, but if you delete it from the schedule, it always tells you like, oh, this will be deleted. The door will be gone now.
yeah.
So,
So if we look at
schedule is.
this, just split this view. Right? The trick also is when you're wondering, like if you're trying to track down doors or something in a project and you're not sure where it is and you want to like verify it, there's a trick that if you select it in a schedule and then click into a 3D view, you now have that thing selected. So,
Yeah, that was the case for doors.
anything.
But now it's anything.
No, it's always been anything.
Oh, okay.
We just did it on doors mostly. So
Or wall.
it's kind of like pushing this button up top in contextual. I just wanted to like spread the tips while we're talking. Right? So you've got highlight model. If the view is quickly findable. Sometimes when you're filtering views in the project browser, then it gets confused when you're selecting elements. But again, that's my trick. I don't know. I've probably told each one of you that trick at some point separately. So here it is together. That if you select an item in a schedule and click into any view, plan, section, anything, you'll have that item selected in that view too.
Sure.
All right.
Yes.
That's it for me.
What if I do
Any questions?
What if I select the desk from the plan or the section?
It doesn't work that
No.
way. No. The sections or the schedule is kind of.
Can you
separate.
try?
I'm trying.
Okay. Doesn't work.
There, see. It deselects it.
Yep.
Alright, any other questions or would you guys be interested in next week's topic? We could just go over some basic family constraints, like how things work.
How to edit families, how to change them and edit them. Yes. Okay.
Some of them get complex, but I mean,
These
We
are
c-
basics.
we could do the basics. We could make like a quick table or something that's parametric and stretchy. And then we can look at some more advanced families too, and see how they work.
I
I
just
can
want to
kind
know
of
what
demystify
lines,
that.
what lines to move and what not to,
Yeah.
Well-
Or what numbers to put in.
and what numbers to put in.
Because if it's constrained properly, you don't have to move anything lines. You just put in the right numbers and it'll do the thing.
Okay.
I don't know if that's useful. I'm not saying that you guys have to
Yeah,
know
that's-
how to create them.
We
But
need
just
to
to have
edit
the
them.
basics.
But yes and no. I think it's
We're
more.
not-
Depends on the families too. But I think it would be preferable if there's one person that does all the family stuff. But it does help if we know, because if something is not working, we can look at it and say, okay, this
Yeah.
is what we need, and then we can go to him and be already.
But I think it's important to have like fundamentals
Yeah.
of how a family works.
Right.
And then when you're thinking of something that you want the family to
To
do,
do.
you can at least evaluate that family and say, oh, it's not doing that because of whatever. Like, let me ask Max if he can set it up so it could do it.
I just want to know, like, how to change the size of a family, how to move something, how to do this, how to do that.
Yeah, and a lot of families they have different styles.
Right.
So
That's why you have to find us a good example.
you get used to how everybody's different styles and like how to define.
Max, I think we need to review, let's say, functions of parameters for length of elements
Mhm.
and arrays, and how to connect them, for example, on the sample ladders. Because there are like both arrays and lengths of elements, and they are connected, and all the stalls, like
That's getting
toilet
kind of
steps,
advanced
they
in the
are
family.
same.
Well, maybe we'll go over the ladder, but
Or maybe how to create and manipulate with that.
that's what I'm kind of going with is just manipulating numbers and understanding where the numbers are coming from and how they're associated to the 3D stuff, right? So it'll be basic, but then you'll have an idea of like the thought process of how you get to there. Because then it gets crazy. Like you go from there and you hit up formulas and then you start nesting, and then you start nesting like 14 times deep. So it's like you go into a family and then you hit edit family and go to the next family and hit edit family and you go to the next family and hit edit. So again, I'm not saying that you're gonna be a wizard at family editing, because that just takes years of looking at it and practicing. But
It's a different.
it's like a different thing. Like it's a different job. And just I want this desk here.
Next session should be interesting. Let's see.
How dare you? How dare
Better.
you? How dare you,
Thank
Omar?
Max.
What happened?